Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. So it is Wear Test Wednesday and you know what that means. We are going to put some products to the test. We are going to see if they last well or if they totally fail us and everything in between. Today I will be testing out the No7 Stay Perfect Foundation. This is a drugstore brand product. I am trying to incorporate more drugstore products into my videos just because first of all, I just wanted to do it more. I noticed that I was doing a lot of high-end and I needed to incorporate more drugstore products because not everyone has the kind of money to spend on all those high-end products. Also, I had a request to do a drugstore tutorial, which I am working on. I need to get like some drugstore palettes, like some eyeshadow palettes, because I have some that are in the drugstore price range, but I want to get some new ones, get some new things to try before I film a tutorial on it. So it is coming. I am working on it. But for now, I'm just incorporating more drugstore products into my wear tests. So if you want to see how this foundation lasts throughout the day, then just keep on watching. Okay, so like usual, I'm going to give you guys the rundown on the product. It retails for $15.99, so $16, which is it's on the higher end of drugstore, you know what I'm saying? Once you start getting over $10, in my opinion, you're getting a little bit pricey for drugstore products, because whenever you are shopping at the drugstore, it's because you want to save some serious money. And of course, $15 compared to $40, $50, $62, you know, and up, yes, that is quite a difference. But at the same time, when you think about it, Sephora collection, which is sold at Sephora where they have high-end products, their foundation is $20. So this is just $4 away from being Sephora collection price. You know what I'm saying? The color palette is medium tones. The color finish is matte. The beauty purpose is for skin tone improvement, sun protection, and concealing, like any foundation. The coverage is medium. Supposed to be medium. It says health concern dry skin, so maybe it's supposed to improve dry skin. Maybe it's a little bit hydrating or something. It says it contains vitamin E and there's no fragrance added. It says it's for conditioning, long lasting, and a lightweight formula, and has an SPF of 15. It says product warning, no warning application. So it doesn't really give you much guidance. There's really just not any specifics here, I guess. We'll just apply it with a brush. It doesn't give you any recommended... Oh no, it does. So actually, there's not much information on the website, but on the back of the bottle, it has quite a bit of information. So I'm going to read the bottle to you. So it says, a long-lasting foundation for a naturally flawless complexion with super staying power. This comfortable foundation feels lightweight and breathable and gives an even-toned, smooth complexion. It can be relied on to stay perfect up to 17 hours of weatherproof and transfer-proof wear. For best results, shake before use, blend on smoothly and evenly with your fingers or a sponge, working downwards and outwards from the center of your face. So it says that you're supposed to use it with a sponge, but quite honestly, my sponges are dirty right now and I really don't want to use them. I am planning on washing them right after this video. Don't give me crap about it, okay? I'm going to apply it with a brush, and if I have any application issues, I'm not going to blame the product for it because it does say to apply it with your fingers or a sponge, and I hate getting foundation on my hands, so I really don't want to apply it with my fingers, so I'm going to use a brush, and I'm going to use actually the Real Techniques contour brush because it's a nice little short, dense, but fluffy kind of brush. I like this for applying foundation sometimes. So I am going to pump that on the back of my tray here, and I'm just going to start with like 2 pumps. And with this foundation, like in my previous wear tests, I did the L'Oreal Infallible Total Cover Foundation, and this foundation I'm noticing, and I notice this a lot in drugstore products, it has this weird gray undertone. Like all of the neutral undertones are like a little bit grayish. They just don't look lively. And I actually got to do this exercise at work recently where we actually had one of the co-founders of Cover FX. He's like the innovative chief officer, I believe, and he does like all the formulating for foundations and stuff like that. And we did this exercise where we mix primary colors, so we mix black, white, yellow, and red. Like those are the 4 colors that you need to make a foundation, except for the occasional, like you might have to add a little bit of an olive tone in there. But basics, you know, it's just the yellow, red, black and white. And what it looks like to me, now that I have that knowledge of mixing those foundations and knowing what makes the foundation look a certain way, it looks to me like this has slightly too much black in it. Like there's not enough red pigment. Like it could use a little bit red or a little bit more yellow or maybe a little bit more of both. I noticed that a lot in drugstore foundations is all I'm trying to say. They tend to have like this weird gray cast. They look fine, but like if you're really comparing it to like high-end foundations and stuff like that, because this is a pattern that I see in drugstore all the time, I just had noticed a little bit of that gray undertone. Anyways, let's get into the application. I am going to apply primer on one side of my face, like usual. Okay, so I'm gonna use my Smashbox Photo Finish Primer on one side of my face. I'm gonna use it on my left side because this is the side that tends to have a little bit more open pores, you know what I'm saying? My pores are a little bit more friendly on that side. I forget how much I love this primer. It just feels so nice and silky smooth. Alright, so I'm just gonna take the Real Techniques brush and I'm just gonna try to take a small amount of foundation at a time. And I'm gonna start at the center of my face here. Disclaimer, I don't know if I've said this yet, but I have worn this foundation before. I've actually owned this foundation for a while. So I do already kind of know how it wears, but like I've said before, whenever I do wear tests, it kind of helps me to pay attention to the foundation a little bit more than I normally would. So it helps me to really kind of nitpick at my products and see what products do I really love and why do I love them, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, wear tests help me just as much as they help you guys, and I don't like to just talk about a product. I mean, I know that I have to sometimes. Like, I'm not going to be able to talk about and do a wear test on every single product that I ever use, but if I can show you guys how it wears and how it lasts on camera, I like to be able to do that because it helps you to see it for yourself and not just me telling you about it, you know what I'm saying? That's why I like to take foundations that I've used and still do a wear test on them. So it definitely does change color a little bit. Like you can tell from this side of my face to this side, like this is a little bit darker. But I really like it. I like the application. I gotta be honest guys, recently, and this is crazy, but recently I have been into a more just like medium to sheer coverage, you know what I'm saying? I am not looking for the super heavy full coverage as much anymore. Like, I don't feel the need to cake the makeup on because I've been paying attention to, like, whenever I look at it in camera, I'm like, oh my gosh, it looks like a full coverage almost, you know what I'm saying? And I find that with the more fuller coverage formulas, whenever you're putting something that's so full coverage on your face, you lose the depth that your skin naturally has, which of course you add that back in with makeup and contouring and stuff like that. But still, I feel like you lose that depth in your skin and your skin doesn't look, it just doesn't look as natural, obviously, because it's like full coverage. It's not supposed to look natural. But it's not about like me being able to see my skin through it. It's about keeping that depth and that realness in my skin. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so I applied it on the unprimed side and now I'm going to go and apply it on the primed side. See if it applies any differently. I'm going to do one more pump here. And I'm definitely gonna have to blend this down my neck a little bit since it's changing color. Like you see, can you see the difference right here? Here's the foundation and here's my natural skin. It's not bad, it's just the foundation changes color. It does feel a little bit hydrating though, which that's something that I didn't really notice even after wearing it before. But now that it says that it's a little bit hydrating, I do notice that hydrating quality to it. I actually really like this brush for applying foundation, which I didn't used to. I've used it for applying foundation before, but now I really like it. Yeah, I think even with this foundation, if you wanted to get a full coverage out of it, you're not. Like, you're just not gonna get that full coverage. Wow, look at that, really changed color. Like, yeah. I'm just gonna take that down my neck. Alright, there is the initial application. So it says that it has more of a matte finish, but it definitely feels very hydrating and it definitely is giving more of that like very dewy. I mean, look at that. Look at how dewy that is. Personally, I love it. Like, I hope it stays dewy like this. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. But when you're buying a foundation that claims to be matte, it's more often than not because you want it to be matte. That I would say is a negative since it does claim to be matte, but it also claims to be hydrating. So here is the foundation all by itself. Honestly, I don't really notice a big difference between the primed and the unprimed side, if any difference at all. Yeah, there's like virtually no difference between the primed and the unprimed side. It feels like it's sitting on my skin exactly the same on both sides. So I guess it'll just depend on how it wears. Like maybe it'll wear differently on one side or the other. Other than that, it does look really nice and smooth. I feel like it looks very natural. It doesn't look cakey. Yeah, I really like it. I feel like it looks like my skin, you know what I'm saying? Compared to other foundations that I've used, like it looks very much looks like my skin. That is where we are right now. I'm gonna go apply concealer and powder. I'm not going to apply the rest of my makeup quite yet because I do plan to film a tutorial, but I'm not gonna film a tutorial right now. I'm just gonna go finish off the rest of like my face makeup and do my eyebrows probably, and then I'll hop back on here and do a quick little check-in, and then I'm gonna go get some stuff done that I have, like some computer work that I need to do, and then I'm gonna come back and film a tutorial and everything. So just by the way, if you see me come back with half done makeup, that's why. Okay, you guys, I applied my concealer and my setting powder and everything, and I applied it like I normally do. So I did the concealer under the eyes, down the nose, the cupid's bow, and the chin, and then pressed the powder in to set it in all those areas as well. So that's how you know my little routine. I think I'm gonna do a like my foundation routine video, since I don't show me doing my whole face in like any of my tutorials or even in my wear tests and stuff like that. So I was thinking about doing like a foundation routine video. Tell me if that's something that you guys would want to see. If it is, give this video a thumbs up and also comment, say yes, I want to see that video. Or if there's another video that you want to see, comment what you want to see. I love doing videos that you guys request. It makes me feel like I'm actually putting out content that, you know, people are asking for and people want to see. So yeah, here is how everything is looking now with the concealer and powder and everything. Of course, with the powder, it has mattified it a little bit, but still not a matte foundation. Definitely still on the dewier side. It's maybe mattified a little bit, because like even in these areas, it's not catching light as much as it was. So it's mattified a little bit, definitely, but I wouldn't call it like a full-on matte foundation. I'm gonna go get some work done, and I will do a check-in in a little bit. Alright guys, so it's been a few hours, so this is check-in number 2, and the foundation is looking really nice. Like, especially on my forehead area, I really like it has settled into my fine lines a little bit, but nothing crazy or substantial, and nothing that I'm mad about, you know what I'm saying? Oh, by the way, this eye look that I'm wearing, I did a tutorial on the Tartelette Flirt palette. It's like a little mini palette, so if you want to see that video, I will leave it linked whenever it's up, because I think that it'll be up by the time this video is up. It should be. So I will leave it linked down in the description box, and I'll also do a little info card, whichever side they pop up on. Anyways, foundation is lasting really well. I feel like it's even helping my concealer to last a little bit better than it normally does. Like, look, on my chin, it still looks absolutely perfect. My nose area, I feel like everything just looks smooth. Everything, yeah, I mean, it's top notch. I'm really loving it so far. Also, can we all just appreciate the fact that I'm wearing a nude lip right now? Because like, when does that ever happen? I mean, honestly. I don't usually like wearing nude lips. They make me feel washed out, but I'm trying to expand my horizons a little bit and do something a little bit different. So here we are. So that is check-in number 2. Tell me what you guys think. Here's a close-up really quick before I close out this check-in, whatever. Check. So there we are right now. I will do a check-in in maybe like a few more hours, okay? Alright guys, so it is a few hours later. It's about 9 o'clock at night now, and quite honestly, everything looks the same. Now, I haven't had a very eventful day. I've been sitting at home mostly just getting work done. But even so, I've had foundations wear off with me just sitting at home not doing anything. You know what I'm saying? I have ran a few errands, so it has been out in the weather a little bit, but honestly, it still looks freaking perfect. Like, it's not moving, it's not separating, it's not sitting weird, it's not doing anything. Like, it looks so good. By the way, sorry if my hair is a little flat. Been wearing a hat because I'm just addicted to this little pink hat that I got at Ross. So yeah, even with my hat, it hasn't worn off of my forehead much, if at all. And like, seriously, It's not sitting around on my nose weird at all. Like, I've had higher end foundations sit really weird in this nose area, and this one is like better. It doesn't make my nose area look dry whatsoever, like at all. Please keep in mind that I did have a little bit of fallout right here, so that's creating the illusion of some texture whenever I was doing my eyeshadow, but it's not. It's just the eyeshadow that I didn't get completely off. Everything is looking really, really freaking smooth. I feel like it's still staying around these areas of my face, which is normally areas that it wears off of, and I didn't put any setting powder or anything around here. I only have setting powder on my chin, my nose area, and under my eyes, and a little bit up onto my forehead as well, like usual. But yeah, really paying attention to this foundation is making me really appreciate it. At this point, I'm starting to feel like the biggest difference between the drugstore formulations in terms of like longevity and stuff like that, you know, for all the long wearing foundations that are drugstore or high end, I feel like the biggest difference is really just the color. This one I can tell if I'm really looking at it, I do think it looks a little bit more gray, especially in certain lightings, but nothing that I'm like mad about, you know what I'm saying? Nothing that wouldn't make me wear it again or would keep me from wearing it again is what I mean. So yeah, pretty freaking happy with it so far, especially paying such close attention to it. I'm just like, wow, why don't I wear this foundation more often? I want to wear it all the time now. So that's where we are right now. I'll do another check-in in maybe like 2 or 3 more hours. So see you in a little bit. All right, you guys, so this is my last check-in of the day, and honestly, what I'm thinking right now is when this foundation calls itself Stay Perfect, it really means it, because it still looks perfect. I mean, especially with it being a more medium coverage, it has lasted really well. Usually whenever I have like a sheer to medium coverage foundation, like it doesn't seem to last as well because I don't know, I guess they tend to be like a thinner consistency and stuff like that, and they just don't adhere to the skin as well. But with this, I mean, I feel like it's even stayed really matte, especially compared to other foundations that I've worn throughout the day. It has settled into my forehead wrinkles quite a bit, but nothing that like other foundations don't do, and also nothing that would make me like not want to wear it again. Like I've definitely had foundations like the Milk Blur foundation, for example. That one like hella set in my wrinkles, like it was not cute at all. And then this one I much prefer over that one. I mean, but just look at it. I think that it speaks for itself. I mean, especially around my nose area. Usually around here gets very textured around the end of the day, but it still looks spot on. Like it still looks really nice. So yeah, I think I will be wearing this foundation a lot more. I didn't realize how long lasting it was compared to other foundations, and now that I'm doing all these wear tests and I'm really paying attention to the texture of foundations and how long they last and whether they smudge around or if they move around or if they settle into fine lines and everything in between, you know, doing all these wear tests really helps me to nitpick at my foundations and really decide what is really good and what is not worth the money, you know what I'm saying? And especially with this being $15.99, like a $16 foundation, compared to like the YSL foundation, for example, or the Milk Makeup foundation. First of all, they both claim to be full coverage, which the Milk one is, but the YSL I would say is about the same coverage as this one, and this one doesn't claim to be full coverage. This one is a medium coverage. The YSL foundation, I am not as crazy about that one at all. I like this one better, honestly. And $15 compared to $58, $16 compared to $58, I mean, it's pretty clear which one you're gonna go for. I think that pretty much wraps up this wear test, you guys. I mean, I would still take makeup pictures with my foundation looking like this. You know what I'm saying? I would just touch up my lips a little bit and take some selfies because it still looks freshly applied. I think this one is probably most similar to this is very similar to the Makeup Forever Ultra HD formula wise. However, the lasting power and like the finish and stuff like that, I want to say it's very similar to YSL. Would probably be the most similar. It just lasts better than YSL, honestly. The YSL All Hours one. So yeah, that is it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what products you would like to see put to the test next. Again, I am trying to incorporate more drugstore products into my routine, so if there is a drugstore product that you love, that you think that I should try, or that you're just curious about, that you want to see put to the test, let me know down in the comments below and I will be sure to do that for you. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe if you are not already, and I will see you all in Friday's video. Thanks for watching. Bye. By the way, can we all just appreciate my outfit right now? Obviously, I put a lot of effort into it. I got my husband's straight out of college t-shirt on that's obviously way too big for me. It's like a little dress here, some jeans, and my whatever, my kids on. Can we just appreciate this, please? Because I'm trying really hard today, obviously. Sarcasm.